Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jaspal. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning. First of all, let us be thankful to the Almighty that with His grace and blessings, we are all able to be here today to attend this very important webinar for researchers on research product commercialization. Distinguished guests, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, welcome to this free live webinar series, a joint collaboration effort between researchers from 4 institutions of higher learning, namely the University Tenaga Nasional, which is UNITEN, University Malaya, University Putra Malaysia, UPM, University Tengku Abdul Razak, UTA, through a project entitled Fostering Technical Entrepreneurship in Research Communities through Localized Content and Industrial Experts. The initiative, I have come to understand, is supported by UNITEN R&D Sdn Bhd, or the URND, and the Innovation and Technology Managers Association Malaysia, ITMA, and is funded by the Royal Academy of Engineering under the Leaders in Fellowship, Community Grant 2020 scheme, and the Newton Fund scheme. I also understand, as mentioned by Dr. Jaspal just now, that a team has conducted a study to identify challenges faced by researchers in commercializing research products in the local scene. Now, these challenges are in the form of hurdles mentioned by Dr. Jaspal just now. Let me just reiterate it again. 1, university industry lack of communication and trust, lack of support from university for intellectual property or IP, lack of experience in the Technology Transfer Office or the TTO implementation, lack of commitment among researchers to commercialize, and lack of funding and support. Now, through my almost 4 decades as a researcher and someone who has commercialized some of her products, let me say this: all these challenges that you have discovered through your study are real and was there since decades ago, and particularly realized when the country initiated its innovation policies since the 10th Malaysia Plan, and will continue to be here for some time to come. And this does not mean that we should sit on our laurels and do nothing about it. Your initiative to have this free live webinar series is a fantastic way to go, because first and for all, we need to change minds, and the only way to change minds is through exchange of ideas and knowledge, and you can do this well only when you share externally. Thus, this effort of getting together researchers from different IHLs and industry is a brilliant idea of overcoming the challenges that you found in your study earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, with a smart digital economy based on the 4th Industrial Revolution, it seems to indicate globally and locally that there is a need to move from traditional ways of doing things to a more intelligent and digital way of conducting our daily lives. There has already been a gradual shift to the smart and intelligent digital world in our daily lives, both at work and at home, reflected by the wide-scale adoption of smart and intelligent devices through electronic, visual, and voice messaging, digital media, and the web. We moved from Web 1.0, which was content-driven and passive in nature, the early Googles that we know, and lots of the other search engines that we use to find information for our research and for other purposes in our lives, to the Web 2.0, which was more user interactive and collaborative, such as the Facebook, Twitter, blogs, Instagram, Telegram, and all whatever social media that we're using today. And currently, we're seeing much more greater change. In this 4IR digital era, an intelligent Web 3.0, or what we will call semantic web, is just round the corner. Now, this will allow the creation of sites where computers, through deep learning and deep thinking, will be generating data on their own and capable of making some form of reasoning and learning to come up with intelligent decisions for us. Now today, sensors, new intelligent tools, environments, and infrastructures are already making accelerated shift to an intelligent, data-driven world that is enticing, effective, and rewarding to mankind. There is thus a need to bring man, machine, and data through intelligent digital processes and devices to greater heights in order to bridge data, knowledge, and meaning, thus change the way we do things, research, and innovate. Thus, your webinar today on addressing challenges faced in commercializing your research product is apt and timely, not just because you need to discuss on the challenges you thought you were facing before this fourth industrial revolution, but because you now also need to face the challenges and effects of the IR 4.0 and the digital economy that has an effect on how universities and researchers need to conduct their research and innovation and bring them eventually to market or commercialization. Universities need to commercialize their research. This is an expectation. It is by default. Yes, you have to. And apart from the papers that academics has to produce to prove that they are good scholars, publish or perish, we say. Also, we have to publish something that must be publishable and applicable, we say. When we say applicable research, we mean that our research should be able to be converted into innovative and inventive products that has practical value to the community. And today we call it translational research. Now, governments, fund givers, sponsors, and even venture capitalists has emphasized that universities are expected to support research commercialization and entrepreneurship because of wealth creation and job creation, not just for the researchers, but for the industry and university involved and the community, as well as the country that will have to benefit eventually. Because all this will contribute to the GDP or the economy of the country. The challenges of the digital economy, IR 4.0, and e-commerce are in itself unique, and research innovations will find a new way to conduct and collaborate research commercialization. Now, the need to look at trends, risks, challenges, markets, application opportunities, impact on organizations, society, people, and environment is a transformational challenge that needs to be looked at and discussed. Thus, the need to discuss new and future challenges of innovation and transformation in relation to commercialization of research products, which is an important context in the fourth industrial revolution and industry 4.0, digital economy, and future universities. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, thus this webinar that begins today until the 3rd of March 2021 will continue with various interesting and important topics. Today, you will hear and discuss the topic on strategic university industry engagement, an infusion towards a greater future, to be given by the speaker, Dr. Gopinath Rao Senior, co-founder and CTO of Theveriot Sendirian Berhad. On the 23rd February 2021, you will be able to hear and discuss on a very interesting commercialization journey based on the study of a Malaysian lecturer and students who co-founded a robotic company and export robots all the way to Mexico. And the speaker will be Associate Professor Dr. Yong Che Fai, co-founder and director of DF Automation and Robotics, Sdn Bhd. On the 25th of February 2021, you will be able to hear and discuss a most crucial aspect of commercialization, that is sourcing funds for commercialization, financing a valley of death in the innovation ecosystem. And the speaker is Ms. Virunta Murthy, Chief Commercialization Officer of UNITEN's R&D Sdn Bhd. And last but not least, on the 3rd of March 2021, you will be able to hear and discuss another important topic in commercialization, that is technology transfer implementation, technology transfer, landscape setting, and best practices in Malaysian universities. And the speaker would be Professor and Senior Dr. Fatima Ibrahim, founder and advisor of the Center for Innovation in Medical Engineering, or CIME University, Malaya. Now, thus, these free live webinars have been planned so very carefully for you by the organizers in order that you benefit from the following. Firstly, I believe you will benefit from discussions on challenges pertaining to industry-university engagement that will resolve a lot of problems, amongst it being communication and trust issues. Very important issue indeed. Secondly, you will benefit from discussions on support for IP, technology transfer, and funding for commercialization of your products. Thirdly, you will benefit from discussions on commitment of researchers through an inspiring true journey of a researcher to successfully commercialize a research product. And finally, overall, I'm certain you will benefit through all the discussions on ascertaining the reasons why it is important for you to commercialize your research product, how to commercialize your invention, what are the successful features of commercialization process, how to acquire new product marketing, the varying pathways to commercialization, and the importance of understanding the current and future landscape of commercialization of your research products. I also hope that along the way, you will try to discuss on the changing landscape of future universities, the gig academia nomads, as we call them, the gig economy, the shared economy, how these challenges will need transformations, and how you, as researchers, can adapt to these new challenges. Thus, it is important, as researchers, you embrace the global change in IR 4.0, the digital economy in a dynamic, changing landscape towards a citizen-centric digital Malaysia 5.0, which will be announced by the Prime Minister, I think, anytime soon, and digitally student-centric future universities to enrich research and discoveries, to enable emerging technologies and products, to empower societal well-being, to electrify creativity, innovations, and wealth, to escalate peace and security in the world through research fields of knowledge, to provide new solutions based on science, technology, and the arts, to undertake research and commercialization, to create new jobs in this ever-challenging digital era. The important thing is your research gets to be value-add in terms of products that are applicable and practical for use for the people or the Ummah. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizing committee members, specifically your project lead and coordinator of this seminar, of this webinar, Dr. Jaspaljit Singh Dillon from UNITEN and his team, and of course also the team from UPM and UTA, who all represent a very dedicated team of individuals who had planned this free live webinar series to benefit all of us. I also would like to take this opportunity to especially thank the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Research of UNITEN, Professor Dato Dr. Siti Salbia bin Muhammad Sharif, for her strong support for this webinar. And let me congratulate the IRMC of UNITEN, and the other institutions of the other universities that has taken the initiative to organize this very important webinar. I would also like to take this opportunity to say my heartfelt thank you to all the distinguished speakers who have graciously agreed to share their valuable and priceless experience and knowledge to this webinar. Most of all, I would like to thank all of you, my friends, who are here today and days to come, who I'm sure will give their full support in ensuring success of this webinar. Before I end, let me share with you these very inspiring and beautiful words of Rumi. Listen carefully, yeah? You have woken up late, lost and perplexed, but don't rush to your books looking for knowledge. Pick up a flute instead and let your heart play. Now, how beautiful and perfect is that? The importance of integrating science and arts. The aesthetic. Books signify the absolute science and technology, whilst the flute signify aesthetic, beauty, and patience. In research, innovation, and commercialization, you need science and technology, but you also need the beauty, the arts, the music, and most of all, you need patience. And believe me, you need lots of it, patience. Therefore, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, it now gives me great pleasure to officiate the Free Live Webinar Series 2021 on addressing the challenges faced in commercializing research products. Wabillahi tawfiq, wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. I now pass you back to Dr. Jaswal. Thank you.